What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pubstomp, a podcast about games, TV shows, movies, and pop culture in general. Every episode, we discuss topics that we find interesting. Come join our shenanigans.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Pubstomp Podcast. Today, we have a slight change of plans. We're going to be covering Super Me, even though we didn't want to, but I think it must be talked about. And today, we're a man short, but today we have here Mexi. What's up, Mexi?
Yo. So excited.
Oh, man. So excited. Sorry, guys, if I'm a little off. I'm second day of vaccine. Some of the side effects, nothing crazy. Everything's good. Just a little. I couldn't. No beer today. That's the only difference. No beer. No beer.
Oh.
I don't have a beer.
You didn't get your spinach?
Yeah, I am drinking some water. Just
cool.
trying to keep it. Yeah, but anyway, before we get into the movie, you were telling me about certain witches that are coming back.
I totally heard something else in my head.
Witches with a W. it's the COVID vaccine, man. I don't know. Can't speak properly.
Motherfucking Hocus Pocus 2 for next year.
Snap.
Not this year, 2022. Halloween.
Yeah,
so excited. Woo!
Dude, that's an old movie, man. I watched it. I don't remember. Probably on TV, but when did it come out? Hocus
2022,
Pocus.
Halloween.
Oh, no. The first one. When did the first one come out?
95, I think.
93.
Hocus
Damn,
Pocus. That movie, so good, man. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a 90s movie, right? It's a 90s Disney movie. So you get it kind of like, it's kind of like the Casper style kind of movie, kind of like that. Which Casper was a weird movie, man. Casper was a weird movie. I watched it recently and I was like, what the hell is going on in this movie? None of this stuff makes any sense. Anyway, yes, it's a shit movie.
Whoa.
No. Casper.
No, Casper was the shit.
Do you like it? Oh
yeah,
my God,
man.
that movie was not good. Okay, whatever. I thought you said it was a shit movie.
No, the shit.
I did not like it. I liked some of the characters. The plot was so strange.
Hey, man, look, when you're a kid, man, all you need is Casper and Christina Ricci, I think it is, right, in that movie?
Yeah.
Is it?
But is that, I don't know. I've never seen her before in my life. Christina
Ricci, right?
Ricci? Like R-I-C-C.
That's her name.
That's the bad lady, right? No, that's the good lady.
No, not the bad lady.
Yeah, I don't think that's the one.
Yeah, it was Christina Ricci. Cat. Damn. Boom.
Oh, she looks so different in her IMDb page than what I remember from the Casper movie.
She was like 12 during the Casper movie. 15, sorry. She was 15.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man, Casper was the that was my jam back in the day.
Yeah,
I mean, he was huh?
Watch
he was a little rapey now.
Yeah,
towards the end, he was all like, "Can I keep you?" Like, look, boy.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly. I mean, that's probably why. Maybe I don't remember paying attention to it when I was a young kid. Yeah, when I watched it when I was a kid. But now that I watched it, I was like, that's just a little weird. You can't be doing this stuff. You're older than her by a lot of years. And you're saying these things.
He's a kid. He's a ghost baby or whatever.
Yes, but he's been living for a long time. Right?
Okay, we're gonna bring like he's dead. Okay, he dead. I don't know what we're doing.
But I mean, but time progresses. Like time doesn't stop even if you're a ghost. Maybe you're stuck in your boy. I don't know, man.
Brain doesn't develop because you're still a child, man.
Okay.
Look, man, I don't know the science of ghosts. Okay,
sure,
I don't know
fine.
how the ghosts work.
Let's say that's true. Okay, fine.
If she called in the Ghostbusters, this shit would have been done right away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is. Yeah, that's for me. It didn't hold. A lot of the things seemed weird, but anyway, that's just Casper. But Hocus Pocus 2 next Halloween on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys were talking on Slack about something changing at Disney Plus. A little drama on the pricing changes, or was it HBO Max?
HBO Max. HBO Max is gonna. They're not changing anything. They're just adding another tier.
I see.
$10.99 tier, and you can watch with ads and no same day or no releases, movie theater releases. So like if
Um,
like you wouldn't get The Conjuring and Suicide Squad and all that.
okay, you don't get and that's so right now it costs like $15.
15
No, how
bucks.
much is
Yeah, 15.
and for $5 less? No, it doesn't sound like a good deal. It sounds like a bad deal. This is not even good. Okay, whatever. Because
It's
for
not a
$5
deal.
less, you you get ads and then you don't get movies.
Right,
So
but
what
that
do you
doesn't
get?
mean anything to you, right? Like if
It just
you're not gonna go to that tier, right? So it doesn't matter. Like if somebody really wants to have HBO Max, doesn't care about the like let's say in the normal world, let's say like we don't have a pandemic going on, you don't have
yeah
20 kids to take care of,
yeah
you know, you're
yeah.
gonna go to the theater more than likely, right? I would go to the
Right.
theater and still watch these movies. So like maybe the 10.99 makes sense. Maybe.
But
I hate
then you
I
have
hate
ads,
ads.
right? Yeah,
I hate
exactly.
ads, so I wouldn't watch ads. But there's people out there that don't care about ads. They'll just watch the like, you know.
Yeah, I
This,
mean, I don't really care about the ads so much because Hulu has those tiers where but it's significantly cheaper. It's not like just $5.
yeah,
Um,
I think that's where they missed the mark target. I think they should have gone $8 maybe.
mhm.
But I'm not an economist, right? I don't know. They
Yeah,
get
yeah.
paid more than I do.
Right. They ran the numbers to figure out the price points. Yeah, cool. Oh, that's the news. I guess if you want to get HBO Max at the $10 tier, imagine watching a movie with ads though. That's the weird part. It would take you forever to watch a
I
movie.
don't think it's movies. I think it's like the TV show, right? Because they have like friends,
Oh, I see.
right?
Okay,
People pay for HBO Max just so they have friends, right?
gotcha.
Especially with any special coming out this summer.
Yeah, I
Oh
heard about that.
boy,
Yeah, yeah.
the reunion.
I I didn't care so much about Friends.
Neither did I. I've seen like seasons of it, but it's never been like, oh, I need to watch Friends, guys. Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying, right? There's those TV shows. I'm sure the TV shows have it. Like you watch Harley Quinn, any of those, they're probably gonna have.
so CW, that's all the stuff is gonna be on. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, all that's on HBO Max. You have the Crunchyroll
Okay.
stuff, right? Crunchyroll shows ads right before and at the end of the episodes, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay. I guess that makes more sense. I thought it was more like for movies, but I guess you don't get the releases. Which, if you think about it, $5, it's like
it's a
it's a
steal.
it's a steal, right? Yeah, because you're watching a movie that's gonna be in the theaters, $5. So
Yeah, you show it to all your family and stuff.
yeah,
I think it
cool.
makes sense for the people that it makes sense for it. People that don't want to spend $15, especially if you're like someone like me who has like all the streaming services.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it's
know,
like, ooh, I gotta like maybe bring it down to $10 for a few months while stuff that I care about comes out and I watch it.
right? Nowadays, I only watch Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu that I get from me. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I get all those from you, so thank you.
we're not supposed to tell people we share.
Great provider. Yeah, don't tell anybody.
They're
All right,
they don't like it when you do that.
they don't like it. You don't like it. Oh man, cool. It's like splitting the cable back in the day. Like you run a line from the neighbor. Like my grandma
Mhm.
used to do it with the neighbors. They just like run a freaking like coax cable all over to the next house.
Yeah, that was illegal. This is not
Yeah.
illegal. It's just
Okay.
frowned upon. It's like, do you really have to share passwords? Yes.
Do you
Yes, we
really
do.
have to? Oh, was the cable lines illegal? Like, I guess it
Yes,
does make
dude,
sense.
that's illegal. That's called stealing
Super illegal.
cable.
No, but they would do it like somebody would pay for it, like the neighbor would pay for it, and then they would split it with
Yes.
my grand. Oh, that's not. That's called
The
stealing. That's considered
yeah,
stealing.
that's considered stealing.
Oh,
You
I see.
the contract is from your house to the cable box, not from the cable box to everybody else's house or whatever it is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. Back in the day, they used to be able to what's it called? Like get a card on those cable boxes and unlocks all the channels. But
Mhm.
I didn't have cable back then, so I didn't know.
I may have known people that did that. And it was
Cannot confirm or deny.
yeah. I thought that was cool back in the day, and it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how that works, but whatever.
I think it's filters, right? Because I think everything's it was an analog signal, and if you didn't have that channel, it would be like fuzzy. But if you had some access, you could see it. All right,
Mm.
and with that news out of the way, Super Me Uh, there was a reason why we didn't want to talk about this movie, and it's because it's a confusing movie, and I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. But as it is tradition, round table or like just chairs in front of each other because it's
Bilateral
just you
table.
and me. Just you and me. So what's up, man? Did you like it?
It's not a round table, it's a booth.
It's a booth.
Yeah.
We're looking at each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're on a date. I hated it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I hated this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we can go. We can probably go into detail as to why I hated it. But as for me, I liked it. I was okay with it up to some point. At that point, was the night once they switched over to the dream world. I don't know. It was just very interesting concept. And will say this is it's a foreign movie. It's a Taiwanese movie.
Oh, it's Chinese.
It was Chinese. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. Like maybe there was a culture gap that we didn't understand. My wife watched it with me. She said it was a weird movie. So I don't know.
Seems like we're on the same page.
Yeah, so we're on the same page. It's like, yeah, it's some stuff that's weird. I was like, is there anything? Because maybe there's some like metaphor stuff that is part of the culture. And she was like, nah, it's just weird. So yeah, so I didn't hate it, but I probably wouldn't watch it again because it's very confusing, and it does things that it probably shouldn't have done, or it could have ended in a much cooler way. So I guess this is probably gonna be just a rant fest. So I guess we can just go into the.
Well, we should explain the premise of the movie a little bit.
Explain the premise of the movie.
So there's this writer, a screenwriter who has insomnia and can't sleep because every time he falls asleep, his nightmares come after him, and like they manifest as a demon of sorts. I guess would be the best explanation. And basically, the story starts where he basically gives up on life and almost kills himself, but then he doesn't kill himself because this old man saves him. I'll get back to the old man because the old man is cool. But then you find out that he's in love with this lady who runs a coffee shop that he's known apparently forever and stalked her. But it ends up being that eventually he falls asleep and then he dies in the dream, right? But then he doesn't die, if I remember right.
Yeah, he dies every single time. That's the problem. So every time he falls asleep, some demon comes up and then kills him. And that's why he can't sleep because he keeps waking up, or he doesn't want to go to sleep because he's so scared, right?
Right,
but so in that pairing, yeah.
In the convenience shop, yeah, he dies and he pulls an axe, right, or a sword. Oh, he gets stabbed with a sword, and then he somehow manifests that in the real world after he dies. Right, and then he tries to. Go ahead.
And that happened because of the old man, right? Because when he was about to kill himself, the old man told him, like, look, if you're having nightmares, just when you're dreaming, just say like, this is a dream, and you'll like kind of like bounce back, and that's what triggered that, right? Because he got killed.
I don't know if that's because of the old man. I'm just we're gonna give the credit to the old man because he said it, and then it comes back at the end, right? It's gonna that little bit comes back at the end. Anyways.
Yeah.
So he pulls out this ancient sword, then he tries hawking it. He ends up selling it to like this really shady antique shop. Yeah. And then he uses this to change his life around, where he starts going into dreams and starts pulling more antiquities and selling them to the shady. And then it becomes the gangsters, and then he becomes rich. And then his life spirals out of control into like he's super rich and super famous. He gets the girl of his dreams. And then the gangsters get jealous of how much money he has and ends up trying to kill him. But in this process of that, he becomes the demon that tries to kill him and during his dreams. It's really dumb. Like, I can't. Like, so this is literally how that's going in the movie.
Right. Like, up to the point where, like, it was, yes, it was weird, but up to the point where he becomes ultra rich. Up to that point, I was like, yep, everything's fine. Like, I'm fine with all this. It's fine. And then once... Who was it? You weren't.
No. We'll cover the ending towards the end when we wrap up thoughts. But go on, sorry.
But once I don't remember exactly how he ended up in this weird world where was it he was about to get murdered when he ended in this like other place with tunnels.
Yeah, so he's having every time he wakes up, right? Or he says this is just a dream, he like flashes through this, right? Through this
Right.
life, through this world. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
what you're trying to understand is because he's they try to make it super psychological, and this is the part that pisses me off because at the end of the movie they start explaining like the id versus the super id versus the
Right. Right.
subconscious and all this. So like what you're trying, I think what you're trying to get is that when he's falling asleep, that's his inner mind working, right?
Mm-hmm.
That his brain, like him himself, has to go through these passageways which would be his brain, right? And that's like that world,
I see.
like that's how I
Yeah.
interpret it.
But
But
the
I'm
problem is that it loops back, right? Like he's in this weird passageway, and it loops that he himself is that somehow comes back into the real world where he is alive. So now there's two of them.
huh?
I don't know. That was the confuse. That's where I was like, okay, this is kind of looped around from the dream world into the
Well,
real.
yeah. So that's where the three consciousness things is, right? Like
Okay.
one is him, one is himself, right? One is the id, I think is what they call it, which
Mm.
is like the person who's living this world where he's taking the money and becoming super greedy and trying to get all his desires. That's the person that you're seeing through the movie. And then there's a subconscious that tries to keep everything in check, which would be the demon of himself trying to kill that person to be like, don't be a dick, don't be an ass, right? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean, it's still like.
That's what they're trying to.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to do, right? There's
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
as a person, and there's subconscious that's all the base desires, and then there's the subconscious side of him that tries to control all his desires. So when
Okay.
you, so when the thing that wants all his desires to come true takes over control, that's where his life is like he's greedy and getting all these things done
Yeah.
and all,
He gets out of
getting the
control.
girl. And you kind of see
Right.
his character progress that way, right? Where he's just like, I
Yeah.
want more money, and he's kind of a jerk.
Right.
And
He could have
then the
stopped at some
demon,
point, right? Yeah.
yeah,
So.
but the other thing's out of control. So that's where like the demon tries what you say is the demon, but really it's another level of his subconscious keeping things in check, trying to
Uh-huh.
make him stop, right?
Right. Right. Okay. I can
And that's
see
why I
that.
hate this movie because they try to be like scientific, but at the same time fantasy, but at the same time like stupid. This doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, the rules for the dream world, like when he went to sleep and then he would bring stuff back from the dream world into his current world. The rules seem to be as long as he was touching it, he could bring it back, and he started being able to manipulate where he could be. So he started going into banks and like just dreaming of like I guess precious artifacts.
Yeah, well, like at one point, yeah, it didn't make sense because he stopped doing the artifacts thing and he started getting money. But sometimes he would get golden artifacts. Like, why?
And the car
Why?
one was weird. He was driving a car and then he
Yeah,
brought the whole car back in, but he's in an apartment, so I don't. That one
in
was
a
like
high
okay,
rise.
yeah, in a high rise apartment. Like,
Stupid.
how did you get it out, or why did that
That's
crush you? Yeah, I don't know.
well, because he woke up inside of the car.
Oh yeah, yeah. but then how do you get it out? But I guess that's fine. We can.
He's rich, man. He could get it
He's
out wherever.
rich. Get a helicopter,
Yeah, man.
remove the window, take it out. Say, how did you get in it? Don't worry about it. No, don't ask questions. Yeah, but I guess all of this was to because he was a writer, so he stopped writing.
Mm-hmm. Does he
And
got a
then now
writer's
that
block?
yeah, because all this because he had writer's block
Mm-hmm.
and rich, and then now of course he needed to get the lady.
Mm-hmm. You
Uh,
know,
yeah,
as
so
is tradition, you always get the girl.
right, right. So I guess we can talk about the romance life a little bit, because or I guess stalker life becomes that whole
Well,
interaction was very strange, right? Because he's been
yeah,
watching her for I don't know years.
I don't know. He looked like he was 12 at some point.
Yeah, he looks like he was a little kid. He saw the girl in a concert or like in a bar or whatever, and she played some song, which I
But she didn't
recognized by the way.
change.
Cause, yeah, but she looked the same. He
Yeah,
was a kid.
like
She looked the same. This
I
lady's
don't
like at least 10
understand.
years older than him. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Probably more.
And so he's been tracking her forever, and now that he's rich, he like buys her coffee shop and then makes like it's just so strange. Like if somebody comes to you and tells you these things, I would be super confused.
Yeah, it wouldn't make me fall in love with somebody personally. It's like, hey, I want to buy Pubstomp so that you guys can. Actually, I would. I'd probably fall in love with that person.
You probably would, man.
Yeah, never mind. I take it back. Somebody wanted to be like, I'll buy Pubstomp so that you guys can just do Pubstomp every day, all day. I'll be like, I love you.
when can we get married?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's kind of what happened, right? He got the lady, but
Mm-hmm.
he got her killed at the end, so it didn't matter.
Did he get her killed though? Da-da-da.
And that's where like the looping around happened. It's like
Mm-hmm.
at some point, like when you mentioned he at the convenience store, he dreams and then he realizes that he can take artifacts from his dreams into his
Mm-hmm.
current world, and then all this thing happened, and then like he ends up being inside of a dream, and then he wakes up again at the convenience store, and it's that same girl offering her like a lunch or like some kind of meal, and then I don't know, it's just like when everything ends up being a dream. I hate that when it happens in a movie, because like, why did we go through all of this thing and then come back to like, oh, just kidding, it was a dream, right? So
Well, otherwise, all the fantasy elements wouldn't have worked, and then you wouldn't have, learned your lesson.
that's
Because at the
true.
end of the day, that's all that's important, right?
Right. And okay, and fine, and I could have forgiven that, and I could have been fine with that, because at that point in time, yes, he learned all of his lessons in the dream, and then they played like they replayed a bunch of scenes where they're like, okay, now he got cleaned up, the lady offered him a job at this coffee shop, he bought a new laptop, and then he could write his book, and then his handler turned out that he sold a book that he wrote, and now he has money and everything is great, and then I was fine with that, and they could have ended the movie there, but they didn't, right? They didn't.
They went back to the old man.
They went back to the old man. Man, so do you want to talk about that last bit with the old man?
First of all, I want to talk about that sandwich that the old man is selling, because it looked
Yes.
tasty. I was like, man, I want one of those. I don't know where you can get one of those. Anyways,
Yeah, I don't think you can get them in the US, but yeah, they look pretty tasty.
I was like, oh man, it's like, oh, I want one with sausage and egg, and I was like, breakfast. Love breakfast. Can we eat that for brunch? Sorry. Really, that was the redeeming factor in this movie, where I was just like, I want a sandwich. By the way,
Yeah.
It's not a sandwich. It's like an egg omelet thing. I don't know what it is really, but it looks delicious. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
it's in like a rice circle thing, and then they crack whatever inside. Yeah,
Hmm?
we'll post a picture because it's hard to describe. It's just, it looks pretty good.
Yep. Anyways, so at some point in the movie, I forget the main character's name. You were
I don't
saying
know the
anything?
name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
saying
actually.
anything?
Yeah, saying yeah.
Drops some money and says, "Here you go," secretly, right, to take care of him because he saved his life
Right.
at one point.
Yeah.
And then the old man is angry that he got money, apparently. So he's like, "Why'd you do this? I don't need your money." Blah 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 blah. And then he's like, hints or says that he understands why he did it, and then shows him a scar, and he's like, "I did the same thing once." And then boom, back into the secret brain world. Like,
Yeah. So it's like he's still dreaming. They tried to do the Inception thing, where like at the end of the movie you don't know where you are anymore. You don't know what's reality, because in Inception they spin the top, and the top is supposed to like fall. You leave it with the question: did the top fall or kept spinning? Right. So
mhm.
and here they try to do similar. I felt like they try to do the same thing, but it's like, why? Like it's so confusing, because it just, nothing makes sense. Like you lose like your anchor to where is the reality.
I mean, the story's already whack. Like, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
for them to like go back into that world. Like, why? Like,
Right.
what are you gaining from doing that?
Yeah, think it could have ended without that mystery, because that bag was still on the old dream world, but
Mhm.
somehow ended up being in. It ended up actually happening. So I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. How could it have been a thing? So you mentioned something that they could have done instead of doing that dream world thing, but I forget what you said exactly.
And the old man could have let him jump, and the movie would have been over.
Yes, yes, yes. But
sorry. No, I couldn't help it.
Yeah,
Um, it would have been a cooler idea if they would have spun it back where the old man was him from the future, right?
oh yes, yes, that's right.
And like, because the old man was scarred too, so it would have been kind of cool if you would have seen the same scars on him and it's him, and it would have been like, you know, this is me, this is you, or maybe that's actually what happened, and I'm too dumb to realize it.
I
But
don't know. It didn't look like it because, yeah, I don't think so.
and
Yeah,
like,
and
it would have been a lesson in humility, right? Like, being all that rich and stuff wasn't the best idea for us, and here we
right
are.
here we
And
are.
he's still stalking the lady because he's an old man looking at the girl from across the street selling
That's
egg sandwiches.
yeah, that's too deep. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Either way, I think it just like ended a little strange because it could, and it just ends immediately after that. Like boom, he's in the dream, like the magic passageways come back, and then he's back in that. So then you
Yeah,
don't know what happens. You're saying
like
it's angling for a second movie, but I don't think so. I think this is just the end.
I think it's fodder man for a second movie. Like, what if other people's dreams are in this world? Like, now there's other people that have this dream world thing, right? Like the old man. So like, what if the gangster has these dreams too? I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know, man. You're stretching. Yeah, all this stuff is like speculation. But yeah, anyway, that's why we didn't want to talk about this because it's like it's
It's
just
just
so
a stupid
confusing.
movie. Sorry.
I would. It's. I think if you speak Mandarin, probably watch it because I mean, I guess you watched it dubbed. I watched it in Mandarin with subtitles. It's just like a lot of cognitive effort to watch this movie, and then end up being a freaking dream instead of a dream, and then that's why I was upset.
It's just like nothing. Like the story was fine. The dream sequence was fine, but the resolution of the movie didn't do anything, right? Like, in all honesty, him dying and going through this "I became rich" and all that stuff, all that meant was that he got
Yeah,
too greedy. Had he stopped 5 paces below that, he probably would have been fine, right?
yeah, he would
So
have been
like,
fine. Yeah,
honestly, what did he gain? Like nothing. There's no
yeah.
resolution. It ends.
Yeah, it gave me the vibe of what is it called? Death Note, when like the main in the anime Death
Another
Note, the guy
shitty thing.
the guy could have stopped at some point, but he got like too
Greedy.
greedy, like, and
Yeah.
then he just kept going and going and going. So it was like at some point, I guess maybe this is a type of like it's a hubris, like when you get too
Mhm.
full of yourself, you don't know when to stop. When do you stop climbing before you realize that you went too far? But
Mhm. Mhm.
so maybe if that's the message of the movie, fine, fine. I'll
Only
take it.
Lelouch could do it to the
Only
end.
Lelouch could do it. Yes, and die gracefully.
Yeah,
Or
man.
did he?
Technically he didn't, or he did die, but they brought him back. So you know, there's that.
That. But yeah, so the CG was not great in this movie.
Trash.
Yes, pretty bad. It was an interesting concept. I'll say that. Like like every time he got like impaled, it was pretty creative.
Yep.
So those are cool things, and I did like kind of like the demon at some point got like a machine gun, and I was like, oh crap, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh, so
The
there
dream
were a few,
sequences are cool.
yeah, dream sequences were cool, but like aside from that, I think
Don't watch it.
yeah, just yeah,
No, no, no.
it's
I
hard
take
to.
that back. I take it back. Watch it until you see the sandwich that the old man makes, and then stop.
Yeah, that's like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you just want to know what the sandwich looks like, because that's all you really care about.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to recommend this movie. I would say pass on this unless you know somebody that recommended to you that's not us. Because this is my stance.
No, 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 no. If somebody else recommends it to you, unfriend them. Like you don't need that negativity in your life.
Or they gotta have a like some other thing that we missed. Because yeah, I think
Nope, unfriend them.
yeah. Yeah, but that is I mean that's it, man. I have nothing else to say about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else left to add. So, that's it.
Yep, and I guess with that, we are out. Peace.
See ya.
Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, please give us a star, heart, or leave us a review. You can follow us on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube at Pubstomp Podcast. That's PUBSTOMPOD cast. For more episodes, go to anchor.fm/Pubstomp. Music provided by 99 Lives. Credits are in the episode description.